Hi. Yeah, this is what I've been working on lately, and that is what this video is about. So, lean back, get your popcorn, I guess, and enjoy, because this has kind of been interesting. So, it all started one night as I was laying in bed, and I was like, I need something to make myself stand out. And then it came to me. What if I tried to make 1 million bucks off of the worst plant to sell? You know, memeing around and stuff. Because if I truly wanted to make 1 million bucks in an efficient way, there are 100 more ways of doing it. But why would I do those when I can just meme around and take the longest possible route and do the stupidest shit? So I put myself to sleep, woke up the next morning, rushed to my laptop, and logged on to the one block. And that's when I saw that a single watermelon block went for $6. That is when I knew that this was going to be a long journey. So I started expanding the island. I have no idea if I had footage of that part, but if so, it's right here in front of you. Thank you later, me. And once I was done expanding, I opened up Google Chrome, went to Google Sheets, and decided it was best to start up a useless Google Sheet. Originally, I came up with a strategy. If I could use a golden axe, it had a much quicker breaking rate than anything else, including a netherite axe, diamond axe. But that strategy was quite literally useless after having to go and repair the golden axe every single floor due to not receiving any experience from harvesting. So I wouldn't really mind the useless strategy. But the main course of this sheet was right in the middle of it, the watermelon log. I decided to keep track of how much money we made per day, so I could flex on friends that, I was kind of no-lifing on a Minecraft Skyblock server. But, I thought this was only going to last a few days, but as you can see, it took about 2.5 weeks. And if you're going to put, a lot of time into something you love, you got to give it a name. So the history buff I decided to name it no other than Operation Watermelon Gate. So there's this picture that's on the right-hand side of the screen that I found on just the Minecraft wiki about what kind of melon farm would be the most efficient. There are a lot of them when I was doing research and stuff. There's one that's automatic that involves pistons and such, but through those piston farms, you get like a singular melon from within the block, not the actual block itself that you can obtain through Silk Touch. So I crossed off the piston idea and moved on to another one. This other one was a science experiment on YouTube that I'll put up the thumbnail of, so you guys can go check out that one. I'll leave a link to it in the description. And it involves the most efficient way to plant watermelon. However, the capacity that I saw in this video was not going to be enough to make us 1 million bucks on the server. So I kind of had to just come up with my own. And my own is basically a ripoff of the one you see on Minecraft Wiki. But, potato potato. And you may have caught my one of my words in the past sentence, us. Yeah, I said us. See, on this one block island, I have 3 friends, Hoopla, Aravel, and Audie. Cool guys. If you watched any of my previous videos, you would have seen them. Hoopla has a YouTube channel, which is in the description, so go check out the man. Anyways, back to watermelon farming. Initially, Aravel was helping me build the melon farm itself, which isn't necessarily a complex structure. See, the most difficult part about it all was placing the water down. In order to create enough space between the floor of a level of the farm and the ceiling of a level, it required us to use wooden slabs to protect the water from draining out and onto the crops below. This wasn't necessarily difficult, I suppose, but tedious most definitely. And then, as I was saying, Aravel did actually help me build the melon farm, so kudos to him. However, I'll be honest, as soon as the melon farm was finished, this melon farm was my baby. I did not let anyone else touch that shit. So during this process of building the farm, I required myself to do some calculations as to how much could fit onto each floor. Now, I'm not going to blurt out all my calculations right here because that'd just be way too much, but I'm going to put them in the description if you'd like to see and you're into that kind of stuff. I, for one, love over-calculating things and overdoing things just because I find it kind of funny, but nevertheless. So, the necessity ones that we need to know to continue this video are that a single line of watermelons on this farm consisted of 15 watermelons, that is. There were 8 lines of watermelons on each level, thus giving us 120 melons each level. Due to each watermelon going for $6, a single level, fully grown, could make us $720. Yes, only that amount. So I came to a conclusion that it would require us to build 14 floors in total to give us a harvest of 1680 watermelons. And I'll get back later as to why it requires us to build 14. Now, after having built the farm and planted all of our crops, I was doing some research into the MCMMO plugin the server had with its stats and such. If you're not familiar with the MCMMO plugin, it's basically just a RPG type plugin that gives stats to certain aspects of the game. And the one we wanted to focus on was herbalism. While I was researching into the herbalism stat, which is just farming in general, I realized that as the stat increased, the chance of getting double the item you're farming from just a single one also increased, meaning double watermelons sometimes. Now you may be thinking to yourself, Josh, it's just an extra 1 or 2 watermelons. It's not really going to cause any difference, but that, my friend, is where you are wrong. If I was able to increase my herbalism stat, I was increasing in watermelon yield per harvest, and I was going to be able to raise that 1680 watermelons per harvest to about, from what I gathered, 2016 watermelons. That itself was a game changer. Alright, that's a lot of more watermelons than just 1680. Because after I developed my more recent strategy of just swinging a netherite axe that I gave the nickname the Melon phone, I was hoping to be able to hit 100k each day. And this was going to make it less time consuming, and I'll get into time consumption way later. I was getting about 2016 watermelons each harvest, which correlates to about 32 stacks. A double chest in Minecraft holds 54 stacks, and it'd take 5 double chests to make 100k just off of watermelons. Now, due to getting about 32 stacks per harvest, it'd only take about 8 or 8.5 harvests. After setting up a stopwatch, I timed myself waiting from the beginning of a watermelon level being planted to the time a majority of it was grown, and it took about 30 minutes, give a little bit. Then, I timed myself harvesting said watermelon, and that took about 5 minutes. So in total, I'd say it was about a 30 to 35 minute process of a single harvest. 2 double chests full of stacks of watermelon would make exactly $41,472. I'll put that number up on the screen. Accounting for restroom breaks and generally just walking around my house as I sometimes do, it would take about 2 hours to fill up just 2 double chests. So given that I had to sell 5 double chests worth, you could imagine this was going to take a while. And so that, as the viewer, you can just think to yourself, oh, well, you can just go AFK between harvests and wait for them to grow, right? Not necessarily. One block MC has a specific rule against being AFK on your island, so that's when I realized I was going to have to spend about 5 to 7 hours a day just standing around my island having to be actively playing and just sitting around my room. I suppose it was good timing though, because my family and I ended up having to quarantine for a few weeks, so I switched to online schooling. So my day would consist of waking up to my alarm, sprinting to my desk, turning on my schoolwork designated laptop and hopping into my math class video call. And then turning on my other laptop, logging into one block, and getting started on harvesting watermelons when my math teacher would go on and on about business math, given I'm a senior. Now as to which one I paid attention to the most, let's just say there's a reason I'm making this video and not doing my math project. So here I was, bored out of my mind and setting 30-minute timers as I waited for the damn melons to grow. So I had to do something, right? Well, I thought to myself that if I was going to be waiting around, I might as well finish the rest of the island phases. Because if you don't know, on One Block MC, which is a server I definitely recommend playing, there are several different phases your island goes through, which then means you can get more and more different kinds of blocks from different biomes. Anyways, back to the topic. So I can't remember which phase I started on exactly, but you'll probably be able to see in the video. But I sure did complete them, and by now, at the time of this recording, I'm already at the end phase, which is the end. But that didn't last me long, so I had to find something else. So I decided to check out the auction house, because why not? And that's when I decided to start trolling the auction house a bit, which was met with unfavorable responses, after I was almost bribed to stop bidding on some custom enchant, to which I replied, "The book is kind of fire though." And well, every day came and every day went, and well, here I am, with $1 million from no lifing a watermelon farm for the past 2.5 weeks. And so what am I going to do with this money? Well, it all depends. If the video gets views, I'll likely end up giving half of it away in a giveaway, and then keeping the other half to reinvest into my island. Or, if the video doesn't get views, it seems like I'll have to reinvest into a second watermelon farm and restart the process. But at the end of the day, as much as I dreaded it in the moment, it was a fun experience. I was able to put my mind to something and did it, even if it probably was the most memey way of getting it.